Hello mates, my name is Risk and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. So we're going to pick up exactly where we left off. However, I did decide on what girl I want to go. I want to go for Yuri, the mature one that looks very dark, because apparently there is a lot of creepy things about her. I changed the poem to really reflect or really appeal to Yuri. So you have like 3 icons, so you know like which word responds well to which girl, and I just kept the ones to Yuri, and my god, it took me a long time to get the poem right, but I finally did it. So we're jumping directly where we left off. Guys, if you would like to see more of Doki Doki Literature Club, let's shoot for 200 likes, and with that we're just going to jump into it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looked like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seemed to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was so focused. If I was focused, then I probably would have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread it, some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. No, you don't. What are you talking about? Nobody just buys 2 for no reason. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What is it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her lost, younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by those people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger... did something flicker? Sorry, I had to take care of the lights because they were flickering. And while her life is at danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of a thing, Ramham? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and repulsive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories... They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective, when horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, and their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be a naive for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plan. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. That's I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into a seat next to Yuri's. Yeah? Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. Oh, I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I opened the book and started the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particular bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looked like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologizing a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry, you're apologizing for apologizing too much. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Oh, we got a fan art. We got an art. Wait, hold on. I just want to get it for maybe a thumbnail. So I remove like the text so I can like get the full picture. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Are you ready? To turn the page... sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Oh, she's smiling over to me. I didn't notice that. Did she change expression or something? I didn't notice that before. Thanks. I mean, she might have not changed expression. Oh, yeah, she did okay, that was cool, okay? She did change expression. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it a bit by my own violation. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a little silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of remnants of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Ramham, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. But wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of a thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of acute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spread from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. She's just sad for, not having more time with me, pretty much. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun reading with you after it picks up a bit, That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write the poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never... Sorry for the burp, it's the burp demon. Since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everybody is ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poem. Sayori is on the wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote her in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pastime pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Yuri, obviously. Let's save. Let's save. Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say it out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of a writing experience do you have? Your use of imaginary and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Whoa, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at the poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just there are specific writing habits that are usually typical for new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It must take you some time, but it'll all come with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that, sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your own poem? Please do! I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Click outside poem area to continue. I'm sorry, I can't really read that. Isn't there like a more English version? Like, English writing? Because I cannot read this font. I'm sorry, I have such a terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. It's like the game actually noticed that it took me a long time to read. Well, don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. No, not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Haha. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Ramham. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it overall, but remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or print a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolic compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Ramham. Me too. Alright, who should I show my poem to next? I don't really care about the other girls because we're not really doing their paths, but I guess we're gonna go for Sayori. Alright. This is good poem, Ramham. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his separate time? I guess you're right. But that's why it's impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Ramham. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be on my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'll be really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Alright, dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making the rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Amazing. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to your yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Oh yeah. I didn't mean to say it in a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I got all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Hehe. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Did I even show her my poem? Oh yeah, I did. But she didn't have that much of a big response to it. Anyway, we're gonna save once more, and we're gonna go for Monika. Hi, Ramham. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, Want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Ramham. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's not that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Ramham. I was going in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put it some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that full imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that way effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nonsense. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near that level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Alright. Hole in a wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I real blind, like a film left on the sun. But it's too late. My retinas already searched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Okay, so, yeah. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of apathy recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An apathy? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this: if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright, so only Natsuki's left. Ramham, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What do you expect me to believe, that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, teach each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can reseek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. That is probably one of the most stupid songs I've... You're criticizing me for my writing? Have you read your own stuff? Okay, you could work in National Geographic, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it though. Like? To make her feel good? Nani? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line, so you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I didn't really care how old everyone is. But if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, we finished reading everybody's poem, so let's see the insights. I guess save number 2, yeah. I mean, it's page 2, but still, save number 2. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. If it's everyone is judging me for my medical writing abilities, even if they were just being nice, there is no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expression change. Natsuki eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returned to the poem to the desk with her one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come up nice at all. Well, I have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Ramham did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Ramham liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Ramham appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Huh? Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Ramham started showing. Oh my god! Oh my god! Just a bloop went. I'm sorry. That's my passive ability. I make boobs grow, guys. Oh my god. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little bit... This doesn't involve you. Both of them say that. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Ramham, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out themselves. Help me explain that to her, Ramham. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feeling and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Ramham? Well, I got a feeling that there's gonna be a decision, guys. I'm gonna save actually. How did I get dragged into this place in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Help me, Sayori! Yuri, I'm sorry. Yuri, it's not even a question. I already said I'm going for the Yuri route. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. So you shouldn't pick and fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it comes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said that her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did! It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized, don't you think that you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle this pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it into the trash. Natsuki, he really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit at Jen's desk near her. Everything's alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Ramham, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do something so shameful, so... Huh? What thing did Natsuki say? The boobs. She's referring to the boobs. Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for me than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about... Wait, how long... Holy shit, I've been recording for too long, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A card info at the top right corner of the screen. It will take you to part 3 when it's available. Holy shit, I didn't notice I was recording too long. Leave a like, guys. Again, 200 likes if you would like to see more of Doki Doki Literature Club. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you in the next time. Bye-bye.